distracting. All right. In the What the Hales segment, sometimes I give a wrap up. Let's give a quick wrap up. Jeremy Hales, this guy right here, is a popular YouTuber, about 750,000 subscribers. He calls his YouTube channel What the Hales. He used to do a lot of like Storage Wars type stuff, but then it evolved into like a vlog. But more recently, he just sues people left and right, including Rich Lutman. We're going to talk about that. These are frivolous lawsuits. He also filed a protective order against his neighbors. Now, he sometimes lives in Florida. His neighbors always live in Florida. As you can see, he filed a protective order in Summit County, Ohio, where he also lives in, but Lynette Preston does not live there. That protective order is about to expire. Expect it expires tomorrow. So before it expired, he ran to the court to file a frivolous motion. But before I say that, he did. But we want to give credit to these two jerk-offs, Tad Hoover and Eli Heller. These, he's got a scumbag lawyer named Randy Shaka. Now, these guys aren't quite as bad as Shaka, but only because they don't do this scumbag move as often. But from time to time, they come in and file something frivolously because he asks them to. So let's go through it. So this is a motion for contempt because he claims that they religiously violate a protective order. Basically, they're supposed to stay away from him, not to make contact with him. That doesn't stop him from making lots of contact with them, but that's a different story. Respondents have willfully and intentionally violated this order by filming me coming and leaving my property and providing footage to others to post online. That sounds bad, except he provides no evidence of any of the times and dates that any of this happens, nor links to the online postings. Surveillance of me coming and going has been regularly posted online. Okay, he's saying the same thing. Respondents have solicited others to harass and intimidate me. That's very vague. As a result of respondents' actions, third parties have made threats against my life. That's very vague. Respondents continue to post online that she has done nothing wrong, despite this being held in contempt twice. That's not a violation of the protective order, even if she's done that. Unless respondent is held in contempt of court, sanctioned with jail time in order to pay attorney's fees to petitioner, respondent will likely continue to engage in this manner. Respondent has demonstrated inability to display proper when present on Zoom hearings. Unless this order is extended and amended, including a prohibition opposed to possess firearms, petitioner will be placed in harm's way. There's evidence of nothing here. This is a Hail Mary. These two guys, Tad and Eli, they should be sanctioned for filing something this frivolous. And they filed something this frivolous. And this lady shouldn't have even granted the protective order, but she did because I think she's a ringer judge. But the last thing that they filed, she dismissed it out of hand and said it was frivolous. I haven't seen a response back, but this is one of the most awful motions I've ever seen. Your thoughts?
It is one of the worst motions I've ever seen. We've all, are stupider for having read it. I think so. I think this is, there's no specificity.
Yeah, it's a borrow from Billy Madison. We award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. All right. So in another part of the Hales saga, what he's brilliant at is creating this like drama-like effect that has all of these tree branches. So there's always something going on. So he's got, how many lawsuits does he have? He has a lot.
19 active lawsuits.
So that allows him to produce content on stuff all the time. So first he sued the same people he got a protective order against because he claimed that some defamatory signs were definitely made by them, even though I don't know how he would know that since no one accounted for the signs. Then he turned around and sued everyone who commented on the initial lawsuit in a way he didn't like, including you. And then he served Richard Lutman, but was that you? Luthman, I'm sorry. He served Richard Lutman, but was that you that he served?
He served Richard A. Lutman Sr. That's my father.
Okay. All right. So, and then after that, after service, you have to tell the court that service was properly done. And what did he do?
Oh, yeah, the reported service occurred on August 4th, 2025 at my father's residence. They went up to, and this is what I heard. I don't know this for a fact. I couldn't swear to this, but this is what I've heard hearsay. And that what I've reported from hearing from people with personal knowledge is that so a process server shows up at the door. Okay. Mm-hmm. My father's wife opens the door. The process server says, "Does Richard Lutman live here?" She says yes. The guy hands her the papers and walks away.
Right.
That was the full length of the conversation. So then my father comes home and is like, "Richie, you got served with papers." My father's like, "What the fuck is this?" And so he looks through the thing. And he came on with us and he said, "I got all these papers here. I don't know what the hell this is. He's a 70-year-old semi-retired pharmacist. He wants to play pickleball all day and walk his dog. He doesn't want to get any trouble. Now he is ensnared because a paid internet agitator, Jeremy Hales' pattern of elder abuse, coordinated with his attorney, Randy Pocket Rocket Shockett, to totally abuse the elderly. So my father submitted some papers. Mike, you can continue on that. So talk about what happened.
So your dad then files something, and I'm looking, I'm trying to find it, but the judge, and right now it's a magistrate, Zach Bozo Belitho, as we call him, because he acts like a bozo quite a lot. So you know, he acts like a bozo. That's why we call him that. But your father's motion, among the things, he made some snide comments like Jeremy Hales is an alligator fucker, but he doesn't even put fucker. He says F and then some codes and then CKR or something like that. So Belitho strikes it. Now, when it's stricken, that means it's like it never appeared. Now, is it still on the court record? Like if someone went to Pacer right now, would they find this motion, or has the motion been removed?
No, to the motion and the declaration, the record has actually been removed. And Michael, I think I want you to put that order, if you can find it, up on the screen. If you don't, pause and we'll go back and.
All right. So first, let's get this up. I think this is the right one. This is the top of what your father wrote. Alligator fucker, degenerate closet.
Read the whole caption. Read the whole caption.
Now,
so we don't.
Why was your father, who is in his 70s, I believe, write something so childish? Well, you can't speak for your dad, but if you did, why would he write something?
LLC, an Ohio limited company, this is what the Hales, and Jeremy Hales, a paid internet agitator, elder abuser, degenerate closeted homosexual, and alligator cker. Okay,
obviously the judge is going to dismiss it if you put something like that in. I'm with the judge or the magistrate. Well, that is.
Put the judge's order up there. Let's see what the judge says.
All right. So magistrate Zach Belitho, that's a junior judge, but it really still is a judge. I don't want to undercut him. He was not appointed by any president, nor was he approved by any Senate. That's the difference between him and an Article 3 judge. Richard A. Lutman Sr., a non-party, has filed 2 documents in this case that contain an obscene and improper caption. Both documents are stricken, finding that district court properly exercised its discretion to strike an improper motion from the docket. What's wrong with that? They are obscene. Hold on, obscene and improper. I agree. Good job, Magistrate Belitho. I'm with you.
If you see the first sentence, Richard A. Lutman, a non-party. Richard A. Lutman Sr. is the only person who purportedly was served at his residence or place of abode, right, with papers. So if Richard Lutman is a non-party, then what's going on here? Okay, if he's a non-party, is there any Richard Lutman that's been served during the 90-day period under Rule 4? That's number one. He doesn't give law and facts to support how he found out that Richard Lutman is a non-party. Did he read the documents? And if he did read the documents, he raised a whole slew of new issues, because when you say something is obscene and improper, obscenity becomes the First Amendment, Michael. You know the First Amendment. Have you ever heard of the First Amendment, Michael? Have you ever heard of it?
I do know that if the guy from Hustler could make movies about naked women, then I guess it's okay for your dad to say elder abuser and closeted homosexual.
We talked about this last week. It's a very famous case called
Larry Flint. I'm sorry, Larry Flint. I forgot his name.
NAACP versus Button. That says litigation itself is expressive activity if it's related to a public interest. And my father was talking about expressive activity that is in the public interest, that is about elder abuse, right? About the activities of this man committing fraud on the court, in a filing of a false affidavit. And also he's talking about a man who's been in the press.
And this is NAACP versus Button that you were referring to. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so it's a case about litigation as expressive activity. And so what it does is it triggers what's called an entire Miller versus California analysis. And Miller versus California is another famous case by the Supreme Court where you have to go through and you have to see whether or not the speech that you're talking about it needs to be restricted. The restriction on that speech is necessary to a compelling governmental interest. And the words that we just showed before, to get rid of those words, to strike the entire motion, is a no-go. The case that Belitho cited is a federal appendix case from the 11th Circuit that talks about the improper act of filing something improperly, the act of filing, not about the content.
All right.
Content becomes a
content.
I got it.
Wouldn't it have been the better part of valor, I think is the appropriate cliche, to just say Jeremy Hales, what the Hales, his business, and not make fun of him? Wouldn't that have been smarter? And then we wouldn't be dealing with all of this.
I don't know. You'd have to talk to my dad, but I know where he's coming from insofar as it's not up to a judge, a clown magistrate judge, to decide the content of his expression. That is something that he cannot do under the First Amendment to the United States Constitution.
He's making a mockery of the court. I'm kind of.
Bolito's already made a mockery of this court.
Well, Mike, he has.
Put up the story. Put up the story.
I agree.
A very famous journalist said this.
All right.
The very famous
now, we discussed the Nesh Nosher van in the What the Hell segment because they're both very
Michael, put it up. Put it up.
Put it up. So you've got, you wanted me to get this up before we talk about the Nesh. What is important about this article?
Go to the very top. This is what you were just talking about. You were just talking about go up further, the people versus Larry Flint. Yes. This is the people of Jeremy Hales versus Rich Luthman. We don't know which Rich Luthman it is, but it's free speech all along. And you go down to the bottom, go down a little further when we see the pictures of the different clowns in this case. There are many clowns in this case.
That's
Jeremy Hales is one of the clowns. And go down a little further.
That's his lawyer, Randy Shockett.
Keep going down. We talk about the shotgun pleading that this is, how it doesn't even talk about a conspiracy. And we showed what a real conspiracy is. We did this months ago. Keep going down. And then we get to the part, there's Randy Shockett again in his clown garb. Now, Bozos and shotguns. We have Bruce Mankin. We have the glorification of crime by the anti-Hales echo chamber, or the pro-Hales echo chamber. Palamop. We got your friend Megan Fox, the clown.
That's
okay,
her.
Keep going. Keep going down. And then we have, Palamop, Rosalind Duke, more of it. And now this part right here, Bozos and shotguns. Go back, Michael, you missed it. Go back up, you missed it. Bozos, and up a little more. So journalism, justice, and jokes. Read that section, Michael. Go down. You already hit it. You Mike, go back down, please. Mike, go back down. Bozos, shotguns, and jokes. Read that section right there. Bozos, shotguns, journalism, justice, and jokes.
Despite the drama, there were laughs too. Luthman joked that suing in Gainesville, Florida felt like a football rivalry. It's like Miami versus Ohio State, he said. I'm going to beat down that dumbass Buckeye in the swamp. Volpe Dad, we called it the final of Bozo. That wasn't just hyperbole. Magistrate Judge Zach Bozo already signaled frustration with the case, once warning the lawyers to, quote, bring your checkbooks and likening them to children for clogging the docket. There's Belizo in his clown mask.
Okay,
Meanwhile, Luthman's defense is straightforward. His statements were journalistic opinions protected by the First Amendment. His filings call Hales a public figure who must prove actual malice and failed to do so. This case isn't just weak, quote unquote. Luthman said it's dangerous. It weaponizes courts for clicks, and chills the free press. Okay.
Michael, go to the very bottom of the article, the comment section. We have a brand new comment on this article. This is all stuff about Jeremy Hales if you wanted to look at that. Who cares about him? But go to the bottom. I think we may have had Judge Bolito leave a comment. It's on his own. Mike, read the comment.
In my opinion, Jeremy Hales is a paid internet agitator, elder abuser, degenerate closet homosexual, and alligator fucker. I know because I endorse these things. U.S. Senator Rick Scott sits on the Senate Committee on Aging. He knows all about me and how weak I am with elder abusers like Jeremy Hales. The senior senator has an informal veto over who President Trump makes into an Article 3 judge. I keep it up. I will never get made. I'll be junior varsity my whole life. Wow, if he actually said that, that's a problem because that is an out-of-court statement. And it's prejudicial.
Judge Bozo Bolito. That's who it is. Judge Bozo Bolito must have made that comment. That's what it looks like now. That's a big thing because this article was made months ago. It's part of the public record. It also raises an issue for recusal. Now, Judge Bozo Bolito has to recuse himself from the Jeremy Hales case that everyone is in because he's a bozo.
Well, look, if he wrote that, obviously did because he's making extrajudicial statements, which are terrible. But you'd have to prove that's him and not someone pretending to be him. I would say there's a good possibility someone was pretending to be him. All right.